Hey, listen, you know, we're getting ready to go to our main event. Folks, also check out Jen's husband, Doug Fry, also an MMA fighter. Jen, he's your primary coach, is he not?
Yeah,
okay.
he's taken the head coaching position at Genesis Jiu-Jitsu and has really kind of taken over that aspect. And you know, he's been in the game so long, it's hard to let something like that go. And so, you know, it was just a natural transition for him to take over and start coaching and you know, to impart his knowledge and the things that he's gone through and what he's learned through his lengthy career.
And what's awesome is the fact that you guys are married. So you're the king in the cage, he's the king out of the cage, and at home it's a toss-up, I'm hoping. I don't know, however you guys do.
It's anybody's game.
It's anybody. I love that. That's freaking awesome. Both of you in the sport. Folks, our main event of our undercard, this is for the belt. 5 3-minute rounds.
Making her way to the cage, Desiree, Dirty Des, Yanez.
Our first fighter for this main event in the atomweight division, Desiree Dirty. Sorry?
Strawweight.
Strawweight, I'm sorry. Strawweight, they're 114 pounds, 150 pounds. Desiree Dirty Des Yanez, 2-0 out of Next Generation MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, 5'4", 114 pounds. Big Spring, Texas. She comes in looking to take the belt. I've seen her fight before. Her boyfriend, also a very good fighter. They share similar tattoos, which is very cool. She is explosive, a lot of fun to watch. Very, you know, I don't know what it is, Jim.
Making her way to
You
the
got
cage,
a lot of
Valerie Soto.
that look like they could be models and maybe do on the side, but they get in the cage. Don't be fooled by their looks. These are superior athletes and fighters, and I don't mean for a man or a woman. I mean as a human being. These are phenomenal athletes and fighters.
Yeah, just because you have a pretty face doesn't mean you don't have a mean streak on the other
love
side.
that, and that's, you know what? Never judge a book by its cover. That book might kick your ass.
Yeah, I saw her last fight, and I was super impressed. She and Felicia just stood in the pocket and exchanged for 3 rounds, like through heavy leather. And they both had great chins, and they were just throwing at each other. Like, it was super entertaining. I was a little worried about brain damage for both of them, but it was really entertaining to watch, you know, from a spectator point of view.
Well, and we're hoping this will be the same thing coming in here for this main event for the belt, for the amateur belt. Now, coming out of All-American MMA, Valerie Soto, she's got 1 pro fight fighting for the belt, or excuse me, 1 amateur fight. She's 1-0. Lives in Dallas. Dallas girl, 5'5", 115 pounds. All-American, as we know, very heavy into wrestling.
Yeah, and I've cross-trained with Valerie a few times, and if I recall correctly, she wrestled in high school, so she's no stranger to combat sports. She's no stranger to having eyes on her and feeling the pressure. So I don't think that it's getting to her today.
And Jen, you brought up a good point. You know, if you haven't done competitive sports, been in front of people like this, nerves can get the best. It can actually suck the energy right out of you just from nerves. And so you make a great point, the fact that she's used to performing in combat sports in front of people. And here she is fighting for the amateur title.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your amateur main event of the evening. 2 undefeated fighters going for the strawweight title of XKO 38. Fight fans, make some noise! Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is being brought to you by Metro PCS and is scheduled for 5 3-minute rounds in the XKO strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Young Ideas blue corner, this orthodox striker stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in 114 pounds, undefeated 2 victories, 0 defeats, representing Next Generation, fighting out of Big Spring, Texas. Make some noise for Desiree Dirty Des Yanez. Her competitor across the cage, fighting out of the Jim Ross red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in 115 pounds, undefeated, 1 victory, 0 defeats, representing All-American MMA, fighting out of Dallas, Texas, Valerie Soto. Your referee, Seth Fuller.
All right, so folks, you're watching. Desiree will be in the all black, Valerie in the all blue.
You know, I think they had Desiree listed as the shorter fighter, but from this angle, it kind of looked like she had just a slight bit of height on.
Yeah, I was a little.
Valerie.
I was surprised too. No, good call right there, Jen. We are scheduled, if it'll go that long, for 5 3-minute rounds. It's championship fight. Brought to you by Metro PCS. Swinging it out.
Yeah, definitely no filling out process for this one either.
Oh, both ladies very quick, crisp hands. Wow, Desiree eating a few shots there by Valerie. She's fortunate to tie up there because she ate 3 or 4 unanswered punches right to the face. It's going to bloody her up just a tad. Nice cage control, turns her back in. Desiree's got Valerie pinned into the corner there of the cage, trying to work for some position. Not a lot of head checking going on. Valerie throwing a few body shots. Desiree with a knee. Jen, if you're in this position, what do you do?
Definitely fishing for underhooks. That's a superior position, and you really move a person around a lot when you have your underhooks. Valerie looks like she's got an underhook. Well, she did have an underhook.
And they separate back to the center of the cage. Valerie, very quick hands. And Desiree would do well to keep that chin down when she's throwing those punches before she takes another one of Valerie's shots.
Yeah, during the exchanges, Valerie's looking a little bit more composed, but Desiree's still throwing hard.
Wow, and again, they slug it out until they meet up into the cage here, tie up, and then separate. Valerie's opened Desiree's nose and lip up a little bit there. When she got quite a bump on her forehead too there, Jen.
Looks like Desiree's bleeding a little and from a cut underneath her eye now.
Yep, she's cut up twice here. Valerie really impressed with the speed of her hands and the connecting. Valerie did quite well.
Yeah.
She pushed the pace, and now my opinion, and I'm always going to give it, and folks, like I said, this is PG-13, so if you're watching, don't be offended, but opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Right.
So my opinion on this is personally, I think Valerie took that round.
I would give the slight edge to Valerie. Like they had some great exchanges. Both girls were landing hard shots. But with those things being even, Valerie did the more damage, which is apparent by looking at Desiree's face.
Yeah, and I would think, and after all these years, I don't think I really believe that in a judge's head, seeing that kind of damage done really plays in the judge's minds.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that blood definitely sways judges a lot. Not to say that necessarily blood means that more damage was done, but I think for this round, they were both landing a lot of shots, and so maybe for this round, that's the deciding factor.
Well, here we get ready for our second round. Desiree Yanez in the black, Valerie Soto in the blue. Genuine Frey and myself in agreement that probably went to Valerie Soto. Both ladies exchanging leg kicks. Back to the punches. Wow, a nice catch of the leg there by Desiree. She went for an inside leg trip and just missed it.
Great takedown defense by Valerie.
Big time. And you're talking about underhooks, and right there, Desiree with double underhooks, but not able to do anything with it. And I love how Valerie's using her head there, that head checking to keep Desiree's posture a little higher. And she needs to keep that head up.
Yeah, it's super important to keep your forehead into the jaw of your opponent when they're against the cage, because it keeps them from being able to look down and move if you keep them pinned up against the cage.
Goes the old saying, wherever the head goes, the body must follow. And right now, Desiree catching a little blow here. Not a lot of action going on in the cage, the side of the cage. But if there was a position and a place that you could really mess each other up, cage dominance could be it.
I feel like up against the cage, it looks like Desiree might be a little bit stronger, like physically the more stronger fighter. But Valerie's staying in there and just working shots to the body right now.
Right.
Which will definitely, that's like money in the bank in the later rounds that really start to add up and, take the steam out of somebody.
Well, it sure looks good in the judges' eyes that you're continuing to work. Boy, and I tell you, wow, Valerie working really hard. And again, folks, because this is amateur, there's no elbows allowed, no elbow strikes. And there's also no reinforced knees. Of course, reinforced knees is anytime you're pulling your opponent's head into the knee. So 2 hands behind the head. An opponent ducks, like right here, she could use a knee. I think even an amateur, because she's not holding her down for any other reason than kind of a headlock. I don't know what the judges think of that, or the referee, Jen.
Yeah, knees there are definitely legal, but giving up, that definitely would switch Desiree's balance and possibly leave her open for a takedown, which is throwing knees in that position.
Boy, and I tell you, it looked like Valerie hit it with a pretty good shot that forced Desiree to really shoot in for that takedown. And the fact that she got that takedown, she really needed it, I think, in the judges' eyes.
Yeah, Valerie looks like she's doing a great job of tying her up and, preventing her from doing any damage, though.
Boy, and I tell you, for Valerie only having one fight, she sure is calm.
Yeah, she looks very composed, like game-faced the entire time. Even when she's eating heavy shots, you can't tell that it's bothering her at all.
Oh, I tell you, having a poker face can be real frustrating to your opponent in this game. Title fight this evening brought to you by Metro PCS. Metro PCS, thank you very much from all of us at XKO for your sponsorship of these wonderful fighters in this title shot, the vacant title. Valerie looks fresh. Desiree looks, laboring, breathing.
She's taking some deep breaths, but these girls have been keeping up a phenomenal pace. So we'll see if it starts to wear on either one of them. They both look to be in great shape.
And into the third round. third round of a possible 5-round
extremely
fight.
light on their feet.
Yeah. I mean, Valerie looks like she just started. It's awesome.
Sure.
And definitely landing the more crisp strikes of the two ladies.
Yeah, she's really keeping the pressure on Desiree, keeping her in that corner and limiting where she can move.
Thus far, Desiree really hasn't had an answer for what Valerie has thrown at her. And I can't help but think in the judges' eyes that first 2 rounds have gone to Valerie Soto. If you're Desiree, Jen, and your coaches, what do you got to do to get back in this fight?
You know, I think she needs to stay off the outside of the cage. She really needs to try to take control of the center because she's really limiting her movement, staying, you know, just right in front of the cage. And it's easy. It's going to be easy for Valerie just to close the distance and hold her against the cage, start working for a takedown. So she just wants more options with her movement, and so she really needs to like push forward with some heavy shots to get herself to the center of the cage.
Wow, and she took a real sharp right there from Valerie Soto.
And honestly, the takedown at the end of the last round was really well timed. She may, you know, want to try and shoot a reactive takedown once Valerie gets a little extended and throws the punches and commits to it, just to shoot in because she had a great takedown.
Well, she's definitely slowed down her output in this round.
Yeah.
Again, Valerie.
I don't even know if Valerie's breathing hard.
It's very impressive watching Valerie Soto here. She has landed pretty much at will. I mean, it's like you said, I mean, her heart rate can't be that high. It's unbelievable the physical shape that this amazing fighter is in. Both fighters.
Yeah, not to discredit Desiree because she's definitely in there still throwing hard. And
there's a crowd of 3,000 chants Soto, Soto. If she comes to life and hits Desiree with several more shots. As we go, 10 seconds left in the third. Looks like we'll go to a 4th round here at XKO 38 in Dallas.
Championship rounds.
Here we are, folks. As Jen just said, getting ready to walk into the championship rounds. And Jen, again, we can't say from a judge's standpoint, but would you have it 3 rounds to 0?
I think I would. Desiree's landing some good shots. She had that great takedown at the end of the second. But I start to worry because she looks like she's visibly slowing and she's breathing quite a bit harder than Valerie. So, you know, if she feels herself tiring, she's going to have to be the smarter fighter. Not necessarily work harder and throw harder, but she's got to
well, and it's interesting.
be the smarter fighter.
Looking over Valerie's corner here, she doesn't need to bother removing her mouthpiece. Like you say, she's not even breathing hard. On the opposite end, Desiree definitely cut, beat up a little bit, breathing harder. And I can't help but think that unless a mistake is made on Valerie Soto's part, that you know, she's got this fight well at hand. Desiree Yanez has yet to really do anything to slow Valerie Soto down. As we go to the 4th round of this championship fight.
And immediately Valerie goes back to work and starts backing her back into the corner.
Leg check kicked. Leg kick checked by Desiree Yanez. But she's going to need to do more. Maybe she needs to push in, try and keep it tight and come with an uppercut or anything to switch things up to slow Valerie Soto down. As Soto again connecting with that right hand. A little bit of swelling on the left side of the face and under the eye of Desiree. And Jen, I mean, to you, does it look like Valerie's just kind of in the zone, picking her shots at will right now?
Yeah, for sure. She's very calculated, she's very focused, and just going to work, chipping away.
I mean, when you have an opponent like Desiree that, you know, hasn't had the output past the second round and you're into the fourth, you know, it's almost like a sparring session right here. And unless Desiree Yanez picks up the pace and finds an answer, Valerie Soto is going to continue to pop her at will. She's timing that right hand very, very well. Ooh, nice left hook there by Valerie.
Yeah, she's still looking extremely sharp, and her punches are still extremely crisp.
Oh man, yeah. And like you say, she's really not even breathing hard. Impeccable shape, impeccable athlete, both ladies. And there, Soto picking up the pace again, forcing Desiree to have to exchange with her. And folks, we are going to a fifth and final round that will decide this championship fight. Once again, Hooters, thank you so much. Always love having the ring girls here. They're fantastic, do a wonderful job. Big thanks to Hooters. A little bit of a cut over here for Valerie. It looks like Desiree got in there, right just above the left eyebrow of Valerie Soto. Just a little doctor checking it out. I don't know about you, Jim, but if I'm tell the doctor, you need to get the hell out of the cage right now. This fight's going to the fifth and final round. You don't even look at this eye. Don't even look at it.
Yeah, it looks like they've stopped the bleeding. I think it's safe to continue.
Well, let's be honest. Even if it wasn't,
yeah, at this
doctor
point
would have a fight in his hands because. But
yeah,
that won't. Not an issue though. Not an issue because here we go. Fifth and final round of the championship.
And if I'm Desiree, that becomes my new target.
Great point, Jen. Great point. And whatever she's got left in the tank, she needs to let it go now.
Yeah, more than likely she's down on the scorecard, so this is the round to definitely let it go and make it happen.
Yep. Jen and I both agreeing that Desiree probably needing a knockout or submission to win this over the next 3 minutes. Valerie Soto has really put on quite a show. And wow, big right hands exchanged by both ladies. Desiree took one back. She finally backed off Valerie with that shot, though, which she hasn't been able to do thus far.
But Valerie's right back in
then
there.
Exactly. So I get back me off for a second. Let's do it again. But Valerie Soto, so composed, so quick.
Yeah, she definitely seems to have the speed advantage. And Desiree looks a little bit hesitant to throw now because every time she throws, she's eating 2 and 3 in return.
That's right. Wow, wow. Beautiful stuff by Valerie Soto.
Yeah, really putting the pressure on and forcing Desiree to take desperate shots.
Yes. It was kind of a blind man's reach, trying to go down for hopefully maybe find a set of legs to grab to go down to the ground with, but no luck. Valerie just too quick.
Yeah, with a minute left, I think Desiree's corner needs to tell her just to let it go, just start throwing.
Good point, Jen.
She's got heavy hands, and it's a fight, anything can happen. Valerie's got that cut open. I think she's got to just put it all out there if she wants to win this.
Less than a minute left in the 5th and final round of this championship fight. It's been quite entertaining. Valerie Soto in the blue, Desiree Yanez in the black. Both ladies putting 15 minutes of very hard work in for our entertainment this evening. Less than 30 seconds. And unless we get another crazy judge's decision tonight, it looks like the belt and the title will go to Valerie Soto. 10 seconds. The crowd imploring both ladies to have a slugfest, but none of it gonna happen. And there we go. Fight's over, folks. Well done. Jen, your thoughts on this championship fight?
I thought Desiree showed a lot of heart and just a lot of grit staying in there for all 5 rounds, even though, she was probably, getting that Valerie was getting the better of the exchanges. But I was actually really impressed with Valerie because with her base being wrestling, you wouldn't have even been able to tell. Like, she stayed in there and the whole fight was standing and her boxing looked great.
Well, and there was that little bit in the first and a little bit in the second round where there was that battle for cage control. And again, Valerie, like I said, that balance, that wrestling base, showing great composure. But when it came right down to it, she was content to just win it on the feet. And I say win it, we haven't heard what the judges have to say, but making an assumption as you get away from a fan, making the assumption that, as we have, and I don't know, Jen, I mean, somebody's blood's on our on one of our sheets.
That's how you know you've been to good fights.
That's right. We've got blood at the announcer's table here, and Jen, I got to say, it's always great. I know you. I say this from experience, and I know you're saying from this recent experience. It's always nice when it's somebody else's blood and not your own.
Yeah.
So we will turn it over to the judges as the announcement comes. Antonio making that for the championship.
Ladies
right now.
and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges score the bout by unanimous decision. And new XKO flyweight champion of the world, Valerie Soto.
Well, Jen, we knew we had it right. It's glad to see that the judges had it right.
I agree. I've seen stranger things happen.
No, that's for sure. But you don't have to be a genius to figure that fight out. Valerie Soto was really dominant for 5 straight rounds. And I tell you, an amateur title in hand, wow. Really, really impressive. Very, very, I say really impressive. It's more than impressive. I mean, she was spectacular, just technical.
Yeah, she has a great skill set and just her composure throughout the entire fight.
And like I said, Desiree
bringing it for all of her fans. Desiree, one hell of a fight. One hell of a fight. Anything you want to say?
Oh, congratulations to the winner. She really put it out there. Thank you so much for the fight and the opportunity. Thank you, SKO, and everybody for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Desiree, Dirty Des Yanez.
Take a loss like this, and no doubt about it,
I got caught up in the moment, Soto. Forgive me. I called you a flyweight instead of a strawweight. I was just excited from all 5 rounds of what we saw. What did y'all think about that? What do you want to say?
I just want to thank my parents over there, family, teammates, more family, everybody behind me, boyfriend, coaches, for everybody that underestimated me. I mean, I just showed y'all right there. We're both chasing the same dream. We have the same goals. Don't ever lower somebody else. I'm only 19. I got so much ahead of me. So thank you for coming out and watching and supporting me. I'll be back again.
You know, I got to tell you something, Valerie. You got some pretty nice bling on your waist here. The first ever XKO amateur strawweight champion, can I say this, of the world. Is that too much? Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Valerie Soto.
Out of Korea, bring it back to the United States. When again is the fight?
December 23rd.
2 days before Christmas.
All I want for Christmas is a shiny new belt.
I was going to say, you get a shiny
I've
belt.
been good.
Shiny belt when you get back to the States. Some nice turkey or whatever you want to eat for Christmas.
All of the above.
All the above.
Both of you guys, come on here. I want to talk
Sorry.
to you guys.
We've been summoned to the cage.
By the way, we are going to intermission. So if you're at home on the couch, go to the bathroom, make a ham sandwich, because we have more action coming back here, because that was just our amateur card. We have our professionals coming out tonight. We're going to talk about that right now. Just 1 second. Now, it's been said that this man once jumped out of a plane without a parachute, but the plane was on the runway and wasn't moving, but it sounded kind of cool. Jin Yoon Fry has had the most views on YouTube for, what is it, one of the quickest knockouts?
It was just knockout of the year.
It was knockout of the year. The girl, like, she got knocked back and she saw, like, past relatives. It was crazy.
And because Antonio doesn't know, if you haven't had a chance to watch Jin, and we were just talking about this, Jin Yoon Fry is getting ready on December 23rd to fight for the Atomweight Championship of the world professionally in South Korea. Not only is she a Texas girl, but she's going to be representing the United States to bring that iron back home. And she just got done telling me all she wants for Christmas is a championship belt. YouTube, what Antonio was talking about, because she did a kick knockout that got knockout of the year that would have dropped a water buffalo. And she may be a little short in stature. I'm a fat dude, but I wouldn't want to get hit by her no matter what. And we're real honored to have you here tonight. Please give it up to this lady. She represents the United States and the state of Texas, going for the Atomweight Championship of the world in December. We'll keep her in our thoughts and prayers. Antonio, I had to cut you off. That is one fly jacket. I may have jumped out of an airplane without a parachute while I was on the ground, but at least I don't have this voice. Phone sex Antonio.
Get down. Are you ready for this? It's going to be incredible. Are you ready? Get to the chopper, because we're ready for you to go to Korea. It's going to be incredible. All right, guys, anyways, we have just made it to the halfway point of the night. We will be continuing after the intermission with the Pro Series here at XKO 38, and we will be giving out some free gear. So, fight fans, we will be right back.